In 1887, A Study in Scarlet was a story that featured a character by the name of Sherlock Holmes. This detective was the creation of Arthur Conan Doyle. These days, Holmes is reckoned to be the most portrayed human character from literature in movie and television history. Sherlock Holmes has become a timeless icon. I can't honestly say the same about this movie. In all too many movies, Dr. Watson is portrayed as a bumbling sidekick. But in the original Conan Doyle stories, he was a qualified doctor who also chronicled Holmes's adventures. This movie takes his rather inaccurate comedy dimwit role to extremes. He is portrayed here as a complete moron, who hero worships Holmes, despite the fact that Holmes himself seems to be a complete buffoon. I don't have a problem with lowbrow comedy, but this movie has the same problem as Ghostbusters 2016. Basically, its leading characters are not characters at all. They're children in grown-ups' bodies. They spend the entire film playing to the audience, pulling funny faces, and basically behaving as though they're doing pantomime. And it's not even good pantomime at that. What's frustrating is that there are several well-known actors in this movie, some of which have a great reputation in comedy, but they are more or less sidelined and given virtually nothing to do. There are moments when this movie tries to be bold and daring, but instead it just comes across as desperate and a bit sad. There is a scene in this movie in which Moriarty is supposedly standing trial, but this man is actually an imposter. Watson bursts into the courtroom, shooting a gun in all directions. Strangely, none of the policemen in the courtroom so much as lift a finger, and it's explained to the court that this man couldn't have committed the crimes he's accused of because he has a very wobbly right arm as a result of being an obsessive masturbator.
And then I found that I preferred a swift one off the wrist.
Holmes and Watson then hilariously try to explain this to the court, using polite Victorian terms. For example, he pours his own tea, he creams his own eclair, the name of his restaurant is Crotch Kitchen.
He wanks himself off!
Thank you, Volta, demon of entertainment hell. I couldn't have put it less delicately. The comedy in this movie could be described as madcap, but I described it as just not very funny. Technically, this movie also leaves something to be desired. Some of the scenes look out of focus, and on numerous occasions, characters' voices don't synchronise with their lips. The fact that the film was allowed to go out in this state makes me wonder if anybody was really bothering much about it. It all ends with a joke about the Titanic.
The boat.
Personally, I didn't think it was offensive. I didn't think it was very funny either. Mainly because it was just another rather feeble attempt to be bold and daring. And there really is nothing more wretched than a failed comedy. I'm pretty sure if good Queen Vic were here now, she wouldn't have been amused.
Deeper in the darkness you were